Hey, I'm Bob Raynor, and this is the Friday Five, your quick 5-minute dose of creativity, career insight, and practical inspiration to wrap up the week. This week, I've been thinking about something that comes up a lot, especially if you're dealing with layoffs, a career shift, or you're just trying to stay useful in an industry that keeps throwing us for a loop. And that is, how are creatives learning right now? Because honestly, trying to keep up with new tools and new tech can feel like drinking from a fire hose. Learning has changed drastically in the past 5 years. It used to follow a pretty clean path, right? You go to school, get a job, you get experience, you move up. And that path is still out there, but it's not the default anymore. What I'm seeing is a lot of creatives being selective. They're not asking, what should I study? They're asking, what do I need next? Sometimes it's a tool like whatever AI platform your clients are suddenly talking about. Sometimes it's business basics because you're thinking about going solo. Sometimes it's leadership because you're trying to move up. And sometimes it's just getting your head straight and seeing your work differently. The upside is you've got options. The downside is you've got options. And it's hard to know where to start, right? A lot of learning now is happening outside traditional schools. And I'll be honest, I've learned more from YouTube than I ever expected, and not for a certificate or a diploma. It's just to do the work. You need to figure out one thing in a program, you search it on YouTube, find a 10-minute video, and you're back in the game. And it's the same thing at home. Is your faucet leaking? YouTube. Or you want to build a bench? YouTube. And then you've got places like Udemy where courses are shorter and tighter and a little bit more structured and aimed at a specific result. And of course, there's communities and Slack groups, Discords, even group chats are where people trade fixes and advice in real time. The goal isn't to know everything. It's to stay flexible and keep your brain moving. But if you're like me, at a certain point, all that choice starts to feel like noise. And that's where structure helps. And sometimes you pay for it. I've worked with mentors like Rodd Chant, and he helped push me to launch Sequence, my agency, and honestly, even this podcast. And just this week, I hired a business coach, not because I felt like things were falling apart, but because I wanted a steady plan and I didn't want to solve every problem alone. Tutorials online can teach you where to click, but they don't always help you think. A good mentor or coach helps you sort the mess, ask better questions, and stay accountable, which is the important part, long enough to make real progress. Now, another big shift, more creatives are learning business skills on purpose. Things like pricing, positioning, client communication, running lean, knowing when to say no. I don't think that's creatives giving up on their craft. It's self-preservation, honestly. Chris Do and his community, The Future, have been teaching the business side of design for years now. And lately, it feels like that message is landing even harder. When companies reorganize over and over, the people who understand how money gets made and how they fit into that tend to have more paths open. So if you've been laid off or you're staring at the question of what now, here's what I've learned along the way. You don't have to remake your whole identity overnight. Stick close to what you're good at and keep a hand on what you're curious about. The other thing is that your place in the market isn't set by some new credential. It's set by whether you keep learning and adding skills over time. Honestly, I would be much more likely to hire a person who is eager to solve problems by learning a new skill than someone who is comfortable in what they already know. Also, don't try to learn everything at once. Instead, pick one skill that you'd like to learn and focus on it. Then choose one resource. Go deep for a couple weeks. Maybe reach out to someone you respect, a simple message, a short chat. You'd be surprised how many people are willing to share what they know. I believe, in the long run, the creatives who find success in the future aren't the ones with the longest list of agencies on their resume. They're the ones who can discover what they're passionate about and lean into a focused learning process that helps them follow those passions. If this industry is asking you to change or adapt, you're allowed to do it thoughtfully. Well, that's it for this week's Friday Five. Thank you for listening. Keep learning and keep your flame lit.